going to go over now how to take a laptop apart. Now, I've taken apart many laptops, and though they differ from model to model, they seem to follow a general theme, and I'm going to go through my procedure for what I believe is the most efficient way to get the laptops apart. And this applies mainly if you have to get down to the motherboard level. The first thing I do is I pull the battery out. You don't want to have any charge in the laptop when you're working on it. Second, I'll start pulling out components one by one. Components that I can get to easily and that will be able to be removed so they're not connected to the motherboard, like the CD drive, and here I'm getting to the RAM. There's one stick in there. You just grab the two ends of the RAM holder and it'll pop up. Sometimes you have to use a device to get in there if it's too tight. And you pull the stick of RAM out. Then you have a wireless card. And wireless cards have that antenna. It's usually a black, gray, or white cord. It just pops right off. And again, the wireless card comes out just like the RAM does. Now we're going to get the hard drive out. And this laptop actually already has the hard drive taken out, but we'll take the cover off. Now what I really want to do is get the screen off, because the screen's going to be in the way. I want to remove it from the equation. To get to the screen in most laptops, you have to take this cover off, and that gives you access to both the keyboard and the screen. I call it the hinge cover plate because it covers the hinges. And the way to get that off is usually to just pry it off, unless it's held in by screws, and that's why I turn the computer over. I'm going to remove any screw that appears like it's directly under the hinge cover plate that could be fastening it on, because I've pried that hinge cover plate off in the past and sometimes it's screwed in from the bottom and it breaks. So rule number one, if you have to force anything off of these laptops, stop what you're doing. It's probably going to break. So I just play it safe and remove all the screws that could possibly be holding that hinge cover plate on. And the only way I'll be able to tell is when I go to attempt to take the hinge cover plate off. So just lining it up. I lined up how big that hinge cover plate is, and I'm just removing any screw that's directly under that. And this computer actually has a lot of them. Most computers don't have this many screws directly under the hinge cover plate.